Hello and welcome to my review of the Wordbearers Mark IV review. So right here we've got 10 Mark IV Space Marines, I guess in the old Mark IV. There's not really a new Mark IV. I hope there will be a new Mark IV at some point, but the heads themselves, there are 10 of them, and a pack of 10 will cost you £16 just for the resin heads. For the shoulder pads, they will cost you £16 as well. So already we're looking at £32 just for the pads and the heads, both of which packs are sold out. And then on top of that, we've also got the torsos, which I can't find anywhere on Games Workshop's website, so it's a good job that I unboxed them back in February of last year, and they would cost you £14.50. There's a set of 10 Space Marines here, which is the £52.50 divided by 2, which is £26.25, plus your £32 for the pads and the heads is £58.50. And then your £14.50 for the torsos. Now I must point out that it is actually £14.50 for 5 torsos, not for 10, for 5. This whole set here will have cost me £87.25. A lot of money just to build 10 Space Marines that are, yeah, fair bit smaller than the new Mark III and Mark VIs. Probably did build them last year, so before I even knew about the new Mark IIIs. But still, I knew that these were going to be small compared to, well, they've always been smaller than the old Mark IIIs, let alone the new Mark VIs. But what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at each one of these minis up close. I'll have a look at the detail and just give you an idea of what it looks like to have Legion specific Space Marines in your Legion. I think it's worth it if you only collect 1, maybe 2 Legions, but if you collect any more than that, then yeah, of course, your mileage may vary, obviously. But what I've done with these Wordbearers is I've used up every single one of the torsos, the pauldrons and the heads. I could have just used them on a standard Mark IV unit, but I thought that was a bit of a waste. Instead, I've used them on kind of 2 heavy support units, because all of the Space Marines in a heavy support unit have to be equipped with the same weapon. It's not like a modern sort of Devastator squad. So I've split them up into 5 multi-melters and 5 heavy flamers. Yes, you might think, super heavy flamers, what a waste. You should have just used las cannons or missile launchers or plasma even. And yeah, I probably would agree with you at some point. But I've used like the las cannons for Dark Angels and for Emperor's Children, things like that. But I thought that flame heat weapons just works really well with Wordbearers. So here's the first one with the multi-melter. The one thing I will say is that the arms don't look, as you can see just in there, this is me being completely transparent, the arms don't really match up that well with the heavy weapon sets. They're not meant for that. They're meant to be for you to use them with the Mark VIs primarily, but I've used them with these Mark IVs, so we'll stick with the multi-melters for now. So they're just sort of walking forwards. They're your older kind of Space Marine leg poses, but if we just have a look at the detail on the torsos and the helmets, can you see that? Like lots of little icons and writing. They will really stand out once painted and shaded and things. So yeah, look at the shoulder pad as well with the Wordbearers symbol. And go back to that one again. Yeah, each torso is different. I think each head is different as well. Look at this one. This one is like a different kind of look to it. It's almost like a Primaris look. Look at that. That is remarkable. That's the big spoiler, is that all Primaris are actually Chaos. Imagine that. All the shoulder pads are the same though. I don't think there's any differences between any of those. They've all got this flame on the book. That's to be expected. It's a Legion symbol. But the torsos and the helmets are all different. I know I've moved on to a heavy flamer there, but we'll just go through each one. Again, another nice torso. There's 5 torsos in a set. I can't find them anywhere on Games Workshop's website anymore, but the heads and the pads are there. They're just sold out. I don't know whether they'll ever make any more, but yeah, there's 5. There's 2 sets of 5 twins in this, but you can't really tell, especially with all the helmets looking different. And I think I probably would have used different torsos. Like I would have used all the 5 of the different ones with the multi-melters, and then all of the other twins with the heavy flamers, just to give that variety. But I like the way they've turned out, despite the kind of compatibility there. I'll probably launch some green stuff in those gaps at some point, because it will bug me, even though I can't see it. You know, from the front, I guess. And from the top you can't see it, but definitely that will bug me in there. Just knowing that it's there. Yeah, even a couple of them that are sort of aiming their weapon. I like that helmet with the flame on the front of it. That's quite cool. This one sort of firing upwards with the heavy flamer. I mean, I know some people like the poses of the newer Mark 6s and Mark 3s, but really they have just as much constrictions as these, you know, older Space Marines that have their legs apart, just in a different way. Although you don't have these kind of running forward or stumbling forward, at least you can have these bracing with heavy weapons. This is the word bearer that doesn't have the helmet. Unlike the newer sets, the Mark 6 helmet sets, where you get 11 heads, you know, you get 10 helmeted and 1 helmetless. The older sets for the Mark 3s and Mark 4s, they just had 10, so 9 helmeted and 1 helmetless. But this word bearer one actually looks pretty cool. I like that. So there you go. That's my look at this 87 pound big heavy support unit. Well, it's going to be 2 heavy support units, isn't it? And then what we've also got as well, if I wanted to transport either of those, is a dedicated word bearers Rhino with the Legion specific doors as well. There are only 2 doors in that pack, but yeah, I think that works quite well as a unit. There are no size comparisons in this one. It's not like a full review where I go through rules and things. I just wanted to give you an update on the torsos, the heads and the pads that I picked up a good couple of years ago, and give you an insight on what I've used them for and how they work in this word bearer's army. What do you guys think of Legion specific torsos, heads and pads? Do you like all the Mark 6s? I don't think we've had any Mark 3 ones, which is a real shame actually. I would have liked to have seen Games Workshop and Forge World sort of continue with that, considering that they have brought out some, you know, Mark 6 Praetors and Mark 6 consoles. I would have liked to see more Legion specific stuff, and definitely, need I say it, you know, Legion specific Leviathan Dreadnoughts and things. Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below as always. Thank you for watching. Death to the False Emperor.